You like 69 Chevelle SS 396 cars? So do I. We recently had a pretty cool 1969 Chevelle SS 396 arrive here at the V8 Speed and Resto shop. Now the owner just bought the car and he found out that it really wasn't everything he was expecting, so it came to us for some modifications, not only in the appearance department, but also in engine power and suspension and cruising comfort. So when the car arrived, we noticed that it was a cool looking SS 396. It seemed to have all the visual cues that those cars have. But the black paint was very spiderweb scratched and it was in sore need of a polishing. The trim that was on the car didn't fit that great. The interior had some worn out pieces and it was just kind of dirty overall. When you open the hood, that mighty 396 was not quite living up to the reputation of being a stoplight terror that those cars used to be. And it was rolling on some original style 14-inch Magnum style wheels, which were correct for the SS 396, but we had some other plans. One of the first things we did was upgrade the brakes and suspension. We ditched the original disc brake setup in favor of some upsized Wilwood disc brakes, and then exchanged those stamped steel original control arms for some tubular units made by Global West. One of the reasons we like to change out that front suspension is to improve the steering geometry. These Global West control arms are not just made of tubular steel, they're also redesigned to allow for more caster, which allows the car to go straighter down the road at high speed without constant correction. We added an adjustable coilover front spring and shock assembly and an upsized front sway bar, and also some tubular control arms and coilovers in the rear. In order to add some more power to the mighty 396, we pulled the engine out, put it on a stand, took the pan off, checked the bearings to make sure the bottom end was all in good shape, resealed the bottom half of the engine, but then we swapped in a comp hydraulic roller camshaft and added some Edelbrock aluminum heads and an aluminum intake manifold and a new carburetor. And the reason for the roller cam is to minimize wear that we see with flat tappet cams today. In fact, the cam that came out of it showed some signs of wear on the lobes, like maybe its days were numbered. The end result is going to be a much more reliable engine that makes a lot more power, and it's going to do it for a long time with that roller cam. We ran the engine through our detail and paint department and resprayed it in Chevy orange, which of course the trivia question is actually poppy red. Topped it with those signature 396 chrome valve covers, which really stood tall against the aluminum intake and aluminum heads. Next up, we went inside the car, adding some creature comfort in the form of a vintage air AC system. This is always a nice thing to add for people who are going to drive cars, especially black ones. Black cars get hot. We added a vintage style but modern stereo that fits in the original hole, and put a powered subwoofer in the trunk and some new speakers throughout. A new carpet was added to freshen up the overall appearance, and some of the worn out interior pieces were exchanged for new ones and some new badges inside as well. One of the nicer features was the 3-spoked wood grain steering wheel. It's a plastic wheel, but it mimics that original wood grain plastic wheel you could have got in a 396. Now, to address all those little scratches, we spent some time polishing and buffing the car. The owner didn't want to get into a complete repaint, so we decided to see if we could revive the paint that was on it and make it look better than it did when it came in, and man, did it come out nice. Black always looks awesome when it's nice and deep, and most of those little scratches polished out to the point where the car looked super fresh. The bodywork was pretty straight on it, so it wore the polish nicely. And we accented all that stuff with a whole bunch of new trim around the windows and a new grille and new emblems and taillight trim and all kinds of little detail pieces to make the outside nice and crisp. We finished it off with a set of Rev wheels that mimic the style of the 14-inch, but now are in an upsize 17 and 18-inch combo, wrapped in Continental tires, much wider rubber so that our new power can hook up on the street, and our new suspension can really take advantage of sticking in the turns. The end result is a car that looks great, sounds awesome, makes more power, and has a nice fresh appearance, but it wasn't really a complete restoration. So I love these kind of projects when you bring something in that's, you know, pretty okay, but leaves a showstopper. If you've got an old car like this that doesn't quite meet your expectations for how it should drive or perform, you can reach us anytime at v8speedshop.com, and we're happy to bring your classic, hot rod, custom, or muscle car to a whole new level. Thanks for watching. See you next time.